A mysterious beginning. Castro wasn't a ranger nor a scientist. He was just a wanderer, solitary, quiet, and a little broken inside, who liked to walk silently through deep forests and capture the world with an old, battered camera. The forest was his escape, a place where silence didn't judge. One October afternoon, after a morning rain, Castro wandered into a nature reserve near the border. The forest floor was damp and quiet, the air thick with the scent of wet leaves. That's when he saw it. A massive footprint pressed deep into the mud. It wasn't from a wolf. It wasn't from a bear, and it certainly wasn't human. It was something in between, and it was fresh. Something was waiting ahead. The fateful encounter. The forest grew darker as he followed the trail. Sunlight barely filtered through the high canopy, casting scattered shafts of golden light. Then he noticed red stains across the dry leaves, spattered, not pooled, a sign of something injured and moving. Beneath a large ceiba tree, Castro found it, a golden, spotted jaguar cub, no bigger than a house cat, lying limp and gasping for breath. Its leg was caught in a crude rusted trap, the metal biting into the flesh. Its golden fur was matted with dirt, the rosettes barely visible under the grime. The cub didn't growl, didn't hiss, didn't even try to run. It looked at him with exhausted eyes and whimpered. Between life and death, Castro dropped to his knees, hands trembling. He had no gloves, no medical kit, only a pocket knife and the will to help. He muttered under his breath, calming himself, as he gently pried the trap open. The metal groaned. The cub twitched but didn't bite. It simply stared at him, half in pain, half in trust. When the trap finally gave way, Castro wrapped his jacket around its leg to slow the bleeding. He looked at the forest trail. "I'm no vet," he whispered, "but if you want to live, follow me." To his surprise, the cub rose, limping, shaky, but it followed. The cabin in the forest Castro lived deep in the woods, in a cabin built by his grandfather and repaired with his own hands. It took nearly 4 hours to carry, coax, and sometimes drag the little jaguar home. He laid it gently on a blanket by the fire, fed it water with the cap of a bottle, cleaned the wound with boiled water and trembling hands. He didn't sleep that night, and neither did the cub. In the days that followed, a strange rhythm took over. The cub wouldn't eat unless Castro did. It never closed its eyes until his did. It watched him like a shadow, never aggressive, just present. He named it Noche, night, because that's what it had come out of. A hidden truth. After a week, the swelling had gone down. The cub began limping around the cabin on its own. That's when Castro noticed something odd. Under the matted fur of its neck there was a faint mark, a small tattoo, not natural. Faded blue ink in the shape of a hexagon. Castro froze. He had seen something like it before, in a news article about a secretive bio-research organization that had once operated in the jungles. They'd disappeared after being accused of tampering with animal DNA. His stomach sank. What was this cub? Trouble arrives. The storm came first. Heavy rain, cracking branches, darkness. Then came the knock. 3 men in black coats, polite but cold. One held a folder. Another had mud on his boots. The third had a rifle slung casually over his back. "We're looking for something," the tallest said. "Something that went missing from a defunct facility." Castro said nothing, just nodded, watched them leave. When he turned back to the cabin, Noche was gone. Reunion. After 3 years. Years passed. Castro stayed away from the cities, away from people. But the memory of that little golden cub never left him. 3 years later, he returned to the place where it all began. The air was thick with morning mist. As he reached a familiar hilltop, a soft growl echoed behind him. He turned slowly. From the fog stepped a jaguar, not large but grown. Its golden fur shimmered in the pale light. Behind it peeked a second cub, smaller, curious. Noche. Her eyes hadn't changed, and neither had the way she looked at him. A warm ending, Castro never left again. He rebuilt the old cabin, cut firewood every morning, planted herbs, and sometimes, just sometimes, when the fog settled or the sun broke through the trees just right, he saw her, Noche and her cub, watching from the trees. A bond between man and beast doesn't need a chain, just memory and one act of kindness. I hope you enjoyed today's story. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more stories like this. Leave a like and comment below what you thought of the story. See you in the next one.